Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Justice for All, as Phoenix realizes he trusts Edgeworth as we wait for new evidence. A not guilty verdict was right in our grasp, but to take it would be doing the wrong, immoral thing, and Phoenix has requested that the trial continue. Now, can we get Mr. the Killer back to testify, or will this evidence come now, which would be very handy? But we trust Edgeworth. Let's work together. Yes, you do.
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right.
But, that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at, and I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer.
Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are, usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done?
But what shall we have him testify about now?
Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? Right, so more about the client. Interesting. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Jean Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. But surely, the client would know about the rules and wouldn't mess with the rules versus a very famed and known killer. Possibly. That sounds right in my brain.
This is a most unexpected turn of events for the, 5th time now?
Still less times than someone's glasses are broken.
However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Always taking things at face value.
Objection!
Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
We still have the cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here.
Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then
I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose.
I don't understand what's going on anymore.
That makes two of us. What is going on? Press, press, press. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However...
Hold it!
Press, of course.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit. Yes. How much is your fee? I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. No, I'm not thinking of hiring
Mr. Wright!
Yes?
You want to kill me! You want me dead, don't you?
I think normal people might do. I don't know. You're not very good at your job. Let's put it that way. You get there in the end, but you make everyone struggle through it. But no one wants you dead. What? Why would you think something like that, Your Honor?
Guilty! Mr. Phoenix Wright, you are hereby declared guilty!
Witness. Let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? And Edgeworth just shrugs it off. One thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. That goes without saying, Mr. the Killer. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. My client did it to frame another for the crime. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police, I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible.
You try to make things easy?
My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene... So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. No, I already told you, I had no intention of using your services, ever. Why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on trial here? Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Joanne Cleader was dead. Well, she said no, she didn't. From the very beginning. And that is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. See, you think so too? But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. Well, no, we've got it here. If Edgeworth is pointing it out for us as well now, this is truly a team. So... we need to prove that Adrian Andrews did not know that Juan Colida was dead. Which was previous parts of testimony, which I now have to remember what we presented to in that, or what was the point in that. I think it was the wine glass. Because she left her fingerprints on the crime scene, it's a very stupid thing to do. She only started doing things after she found out that he was dead.
Objection!
It's that. I go out on a limb so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. the Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Colida had been murdered.
But how? How do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass?
Mr. Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Colida had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan?
That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind.
I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? You got his finger wag? It is. I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Creeder's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? It was the one who opened it after all. Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Just repealed it straight away?
Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony.
The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items.
Let's go.
This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes.
So you physically met your client, huh?
That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Press, press, press! Edgeworth will give me the nod, won't he? This request came to me, about a week ago. If Edgeworth keeps working with me, I won't miss anything. 1 week ago? Are you sure? Yes, I'm quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please, stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time? It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony.
Hold it!
Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's requests. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? Right, press further or let it go. Well, why not just press? So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the bear. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Cleeta's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. He must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference, after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
I don't know to say whether it's very important or not at this point in time. I mean, it's good. But it's not going to get me out of things. There's no fingerprints on it. I mean, if we did test it, it would probably be Juan's mainly. Let me think. I don't think so. But we are delaying. We can always come back to it as well. But I think pretty much all he did is just kind of like confirm a period of events that Will Powers had already confirmed. Let's just try the other ones and then come back to this one, considering we get options. What the killer said sounds plausible, but in the end, it's just his conjecture. No, Your Honor. I don't think it's very important. What's the point, actually? He actually said that he knew that one was bringing it there, so he knew every bit of the plan. To be honest, he could have got that any time, though. He could have done it at the house if he'd seen Yeah, before. And he knew of it. So he didn't have to do it at that night. I'm confused. But no, I don't think it's very important for now. But maybe it is.
Well then, witness, please continue.
We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters.
Hold it!
So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with the brief pause? Press further. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I never take a request by phone or email.
And why is that?
That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
I don't know. Should we just go on to the next one again and look for the next statement so it was not very important again and then judge which one? Now we've got multiple options. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. Is something going on here? What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright. I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client.
It's true what they say about taking face to face. It is. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
Of course. If I heard what I think I heard just now, that was stated twice in a very short time and was very out of place, and I never really thought that the name being said that way or spelt that way and being a more manly version of a name or anything like that would have actually worked in our favour or was actually something. So well done, game developers. If I heard what I think I heard just now, and I think I've got him. Your Honour, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
Huh? Really?
If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. So now I'm presenting, probably. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client.
Objection!
It's got to be that. Because, of course, I'd like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelley de Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up about her. So what is the issue? What did you say just now about her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman! Oh, the transmitter's broke! This is bad! Worse than glasses that never end.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
This witness testified to the following. That he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their requests.
But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person.
Yes, Your Honour. That is exactly the point. And that means Mr. de Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. It's sweating oil! Is there oil in a radio? Really confused. There's not oil in a radio.
Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake?
Well, he does assassinings. He does assassinings. Yes, that's what assassinations are called. He assassinates people, is what I'm trying to say. He doesn't generally stand in a courtroom and therefore know the tricks of the trade. And we got him. We got him quite well. Well, where can this lead us at this point in time? We're delaying stuff, but won't this make our assassin Shelley Dickler an enemy at this point in time? Not going too well, is it? In that sense, maybe we've just shot ourselves in the foot again. Join me next time for more Phoenix Wright Justice for All, as I can feel we are reaching the end. Will it be a one episode? Are we even that near? Or will it be another one of those surprise cliffhangers? We'll find out, won't we? Bye-bye.